Hi guys, welcome back to the DSNERV woodworking channel. Today I'm going to be starting what I'm going to refer to as the oak scraps project. These are just all various little scraps that I've collected from doing frames and things, as you can see behind me, and there's no point letting them go to waste. Let's try and make something. At the moment I'm thinking possibly a photo frame. Get you offcuts such as this one, cut into blocks of roughly the same dimension, glue it up, possibly even put some thinner ones in between the blocks. I really don't know yet. So yeah, let's just get chopping and see what we end up with. It's going to be a nice big chunky frame. I know it looks like a terrible mess at the moment, but once it's all run through the flat planer and everything like that, got all your levels correct and things, it's going to look a hell of a lot better. Whoops, let's stand that back up again. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going for 5 down the sides. I'm changing the orientation of the grain going up, so that will be giving it a bit of definition once it's all sanded and oiled and things like that. Possibly add a bevel, that thought's only literally just come into my mind. But yeah, 2 thinner strips on the inside here, some thicker on the out. Obviously I've got some more thinner and some more thicker to do, obviously like thick there and thick there and thinner on the inside. But for now, we got to take our individual blocks, run them through the flat planer, clean up all the sides and everything like that, do the same with the strips. And they'll be ready to start gluing together. Right, so as we've just seen, the planer obviously isn't the tool for the job. So we can get rid of this guy. Luckily, my fingers and thumbs and everything were well out of the way with that. I mean, it wasn't anything too drastic, but I guess it's something that happens from time to time. Luckily, we have a spare block. So what I'm deciding to do, instead of doing on the flat planer, just got a bit of belt sander paper here, which I'll lay down flat and square off all the sides, so you get a nice join doing it that way. So yeah, once all these are sanded, I'll bring you back for a bit of glue up. Right, so we've finished the sanding and a bit of chopping, still need to do some more. So this is what we've been left with. But before we continue, I think I'm going to put this up on a close-up with a little 5 or 10 second countdown and some countdown music or something like that. And we're going to play the "Let's See How I've Messed Up" game. See if you can spot it. If you did before the counter runs out, put it down in the comments. And then we'll do a bit of chopping and see if I can fix my mistake. Right. Did you spot my mistake? What I've done, trimmed off the protruding bits here so it makes it a lot easier. This is obviously the bottom bit. Now when I put these together, don't worry about the height difference because they still need to be run through the table saw to make them all you know, equal in height and things like that. But if I place that there, roughly where it's meant to go, can you see what I did wrong? This bit here, the inner line, shouldn't, I glued it on, I was rushing, not really thinking. I glued a long piece on when really I only needed the length of these three middle pieces, because obviously that one needs to butt up to that. So what are we going to do? How are we going to fix that? I think the easiest thing to do, probably run it through my table saw first, just to you know, get rid of that like monstrosity. Look at that, terrible. Yeah, run it all through my table saw so we get the equal widths and things like this. Then work out your line, draw it down from this point here, and gently go on a saw and try and break out this little bit here, top and bottom, so that your base and top will actually sit in there how it's meant to. But yeah, so let's go down to the table saw and run it all through first, get the right widths. Right, so we're at the local charity shop. Let's spin around. And they've got lots of photo frames here, so I think we'll have a quick look through because we need a backing and some glass, and this is the cheapest way to get some. So let's see what we can find. That looks alright to me. And always at this charity shop you can find something interesting, so I'm also going to get a little curiosities and things like that, and we also got this guy, so yeah, it's a nice day. Right, so we picked up the cheap frame from the charity shop, £1 British in case you're watching in other countries, and like I said in the shop, we only need it for the backing and the glass, so let's break all that down. I might be able to use the little pin clips, if that's what you want to call them, and I might not, we will see. For the moment, just take the backing out, take the glass out, and that's what we're going to use for this project. So yeah, easiest way to do it. Okay guys, we got a bit of a dilemma here, or at least I do anyway. This is just a rough layout. Now we know we got the problem with the inner line on our uprights, so just rough. When I've laid this out like this, I wanted a big chunky frame, but I'm almost thinking this is overkill. What I've done, I've got the glass down from the frame that we got at the charity shop. Now if I lay that on, obviously that's your inner markings, which I'm going to have to do. Let's just do a brief pencil line. If my pencil will work. So what I'm thinking is, just roughly, do I just simply trim all of these down by rough idea 0.5 of a mil or something, I'm not sure. That will give us a wider window for our glass and our picture, eliminate the problem with the inner line there. I'm just not quite sure, because I do like the fact that all these are square. You know what? I'm going to do it. Alright guys, let's work this out and we'll get cutting again. Okay guys, so after a fair bit of cutting, this is what we've been left with. As you can see, I've got all my angles cut on the top and the sides and everything like that, but you can't see the sides, but you get the general idea. It's given us a lot larger window, which is good. I've lost a lot of the chunkiness of the frame, but to me that's not so much of an issue. It's just one of them things which happens when you go into a project without a clear image in your mind. It just sort of evolves as the project goes along. Let's lay the glass on top so you get a general idea. So yeah, next step is onto the glue up. Beyond that, obviously chop off the protruding outer edges. I'm still undecided whether or not I'm adding a beveled edge. We'll see. Maybe not. It will take away even more of the chunkiness, but at the same time you want it to look decorative. We'll see, we'll see. Like I say, it's an evolving project. So yeah, onto the glue up and see you in a bit. Right, a good tip when you're clamping, sometimes these ones that I've got, they're just a bit too short to reach across the width there, so I'm going to use two of the smallers to create one here. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's just something to bear in mind whenever you're doing clamping work. If you've got ones which are too small, you can most of the time fit them together to still create a good joint. Right, so as we can see, I've taken off the corner bits, the sticking outy bits, given it a light sand. It's actually starting to look like a frame now, and I'm actually liking it more than I thought I would when I was, you know, had to trim down everything. I think I will add a bevel to it, just because let's make it decorative, you know, evolving project and all that. So I'll draw up the pencil lines for where I want to go and bring you back for a bit of beveling. Right, so we've added a nice little bevel to it, nothing too extreme, just a little bit of a added feature. Now it's time for the T-coil to go on. This is a bit which everyone seems to really like, so I'll give you a close-up using T-coil because it's going to give a lighter finish to the oak than linseed oil, for example. So yeah, bring in you for a close-up. Right, so the frame's soaked in as much of the T-coil as it wants. I've got it to a colour I like. Put in whatever photo I'm going to use. Tried to use the old clips from the older frame. They're just not strong enough to go into the oak, so I've ended up just putting a few panel pins in, which can easily be pulled out every time you need to switch the photo. So apart from that, it's putting it up on display. Get a photo of that, and thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry it's turned into such a long video just for a small little photo frame, but like I've said, it's been an evolving project and I've been kind of talking out loud and things like that. So yeah, let's put it up and get a few nice shots. Cheers guys.